This is our new water filter. It's made by 3M. It's the AquaPure model number AP903. I'll give you a quick view of it. And I want to show you how it's installed and how it operates. We're really quite happy with it, and I think it hits a very good price point. It cost about $250, and that includes this blue tank, which actually does the filtering, as well as the connector over here. It's a 1-inch connector across, and I'll show you how we connected it and how it operates. Basically, before we had this, we were using a GE filter. Basically this, if you've ever seen this is the Home Depot filter. They sell this at Home Depot. We were using this for the entire house. It's basically a cartridge. You put a cartridge inside, and that would filter out the entire house. And the problem we were having is every 3 to 4 weeks we would basically have this. Here's the inside of the cart. I'll show you the cartridge. The cartridge would turn brown, just from all the iron and I don't know about the sulfur. The water here on Long Island is very high in iron and sulfur, so you get really pretty poor water. The water tastes terrible. It smells terrible. American Water doesn't want to do too much about it. They're saying they're going to build a plant to take care of it in another 4 or 5 years, but it's not a priority for them. So you have to, if you're living on Long Island, you really need a good water filter. You can either go high end and get one of those salt filters, but I don't really think that makes sense. They're very expensive, and I think this filter hits a pretty good price point. Basically here, just to give you a shot of all of our water pipes. We have PEX in this house, and the water goes up to each sink or toilet there. And we have these manifolds where the water comes into. Basically, the water comes behind this pipe. If you can see it, there's a blue pipe, and that feeds around into these manifolds, which then branch off with a lot of valves throughout the house. There's cold water is the blue, and red water, and the hot water is the red. Okay, so basically we got tired of having these filters from GE. We had to replace them every 3 or so weeks. So we got something a little better. We got this 3M filter, and I want to show you how to plumb it in properly. It's a blue tank about 1.5 foot, about 16 inches, which is removable. This part is removable. You remove the blue tank over there, and the rest of it stays on. This connector stays on. The water flows through here, and I'll show you how to plumb it in. Basically, the water comes in over here. It goes here into this through this valve. It goes into the tank, down to the bottom, comes back up, and then it goes out, and it goes back up again into the main, into the manifolds, which disperse the water throughout the house. Now, what you also want to do is up here, just to give you a view of it, this is the main water coming into the house. Now, we don't have, for instance, the garden hose outside running through the filter. That would be a waste. And basically, this is just for the inside of the house. The water can either go up here and also go into the manifold, but at this point that's shut off with this valve. Or as it is now, it goes through the filter. And the option is, if you shut off this valve and going in, and you shut off this valve going out, and then you can open up this valve, and the water will just simply bypass this filter entirely. And the benefit is, if there's a problem with the filter and you don't have another filter, you can just bypass this whole thing and just have the water go into the house unfiltered. So if you run into a problem, the filter breaks, it gets stuffed up, and you don't have a filter, you can just bypass it by shutting it off and allowing the water to run through directly. But right now, we're not letting the water run through directly. We're making it run through the filter, so that's the way it works. You could do this either in PEX, as we have here. This is what's called PEX pipe. It's a strong plastic, or you could do this in copper. Here they did a mix of it. When it goes to this filter, it goes in copper. The correct way to plumb it in is with the two valves, as you can see. Also, it's highly recommended that you put in this valve, a discharge valve. And the reason is because when you want to change this filter, and I'll show you how to remove it, basically, even if you shut off the water going in and the water going out, it's still going to be under pressure, charged. Yes, more water can't come in the filter when you shut off the valves, but whatever water is that's in there, if you shut off the valves and you open this up, it's still going to spray you in the face. I mean, the benefit of this filter is rather than having to replace the filter once every 3 or 4 weeks, this you only have to replace once a year. It's either once a year or 100,000 gallons, whichever comes first. We use about 6,000 gallons a month, so hopefully this will last for a year, and we only have to replace this once a year. Now I'm going to show you how this works, how to replace the filter, and I'll show you the benefit of having this discharge valve. So to replace the filter, you would pull this down, shut off the incoming water, shut off the outgoing water, and now you can remove the filter. But to avoid getting splashed in the face, what you want to do is you want to open up the discharge valve that's this valve, to discharge out whatever pressure is there and whatever residual water is in here. Let's see what happens. We'll see how much water pressure is there. Alright, you see a little bit comes out. It's sprayed out. You let it drip out. Now you can close it. And to remove this, basically, all you have to do is, let me just put a garbage can underneath in case it leaks. You lift this up. I only have one hand here. Oops. Okay. You see this little thing moving up here by my thumb? That metal thing is moving up. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, I got that metal thing up, and you just twist this, and I have to grab it with both hands. Hold on. Twist this off. Even still, a fair amount of water came out. I guess that valve doesn't help all that much, but it helps a little bit. And you can see here's the connector underneath, and the filter. Here's the filter. I'll put it back on, and we'll turn the water back on. All you do is you twist that. I don't know if you can see it. I just basically twisted this in, and it locks in. We shut off, make sure the valve is off. Turn the water going in. Turn that on slowly. Okay, now I have over here, I keep the card of the person who put it in, Capstone Plumbing. They were very nice. And this thing also came with the filter. And I have to tell you, I'm really not even sure what it does. It seems like a type of alarm or reminder to tell you to replace the filter after a year. Now, the first thing was, there was no mention of this in the manual for the filter. So I even read the Chinese version. It wasn't mentioned in there. And it says hold this down, press and hold for 3 seconds, and I don't know. It says change water filter when monitor flashes and beeps. Alright, it's some kind of a reminder. It'd be nice if you could hang it on some metal. It's magnetic, but I just laid it up there. So I have to tell you, the filter is really good. It filters up to 5 microns, which is very good, and you can see it in the water. The water really is I would say, it's like 95% better. I mean, it's really taken out almost all of the minerals in the water. You can still taste a little bit of the water, a little bit of the minerals in the water, but it's really much improved. I can't necessarily say I can rely on that thing to tell you when to change the filter. So what I would suggest, what I did was I just wrote on it with a marker, pretty low tech, replace next July. That's all you need to do. Now, if you watch my ice maker video, you know that we like ice very much. So what we did was, we like good ice. And the way we get that clear ice is we took the filter that was used for the entire house, and we put that in line with a second filter from GE. These are cartridge filters, and the filter on this first filter, it goes through here, it comes from here, goes through that filter, and then it goes out into the second filter, and then goes out to the ice machine upstairs. And what it does is, we put in, here's some information on it. They have different types of filters, different cartridges that you can put in. And the first one, the one in the first filter, is a purple cartridge that is designed to get you very good drinking water. The next cartridge is, while you can't see inside, is an even better filter. That's meant to filter out all chemicals, chlorine, anything. So basically, by the time the water hits our ice machine, it goes through the main filter, the 5 micron filter by 3M, goes to the first GE filter, and then a second GE filter as well. So we're getting very clear ice, as you can see in that other video. We also have, on another line, for the pot filler above the oven, we have a regular a filter in there that just filters out water. It's just it'll just take out some of the chemicals out of the water. I think it's the same purple one that's in this first one, for the ice machine. But basically, I'll tell you that I think the 3M filter is a good investment. Rather than spend thousands of dollars on a salt filtration system, which those are excellent. They really are. But they're expensive and you have to maintain them. With this, you just change this blue cartridge once a year, and that's it. I would even say that, 6 months into it, if you see you're losing some pressure, what you can do is you can just take this off and just try to flush it out. Let some water in, pour it out, and that might help. Also, the refill cartridge for this filter is the AP917HD, which I've marked over there. So overall, I'm very happy. I think the plumber did a really excellent job, and he's really a nice guy. If you're on Long Island, you may want to call him. Here's some more information about the filter, the AP903. I'll try to focus that in for you. And the booklet, we also keep the booklet up there. Not that it says anything really useful, but it's always good to have. But okay, so we highly recommend the filter. For a reasonable cost, you can get good filtered water for your house, for your kids. And if you have any comments, just put it in the comment section.